Wow, what a terrible show today. What a terrible show today in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm the Godfather of Soul, Justin Lewis Fleming. Name my topic for this evening, for those of you who watched the early edition of Monday Night Raw. Name my topic tonight is called Pathetic, Poor, Pathetic and Poor. Wait, Pathetic and Poor in Pittsburgh. Will SummerSlam 2025 be any good? So much I have to say, man. So much to say. But before I do, I'm gonna open the show with a little bit of music. I'm gonna open the show with this #1 hit single from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie soundtrack, called "Trouble" by English girl duo Shampoo, in honor of the movie's 30th anniversary today. One of my favorite childhood movies. So stick around, right back. Let me get the music playing. Okay, I'll break it all down for all of you. I'll be right back. Yep, Trouble, all of you just heard. Trouble. From the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie soundtrack. Now the movie's 30th anniversary. And one of my favorite childhood movies. So let's get the show on the road. To all of you with this terrible show today, this evening. Okay, then now Together Forever, WWE video leads us into the show. Full rundown of what happened at Night Champions 2025. Pre-show arrivals. Sami Zayn is shown entering the arena. Penta is also shown arriving early today. World Tag Team Champions Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are shown arriving. They'll put the titles on the line against the Judgment Day. Sheamus is shown walking around with a shillelagh. He'll battle Rusev later tonight. This is my brutality! The Eradicator Rhea Ripley heads to the ring to a big reception. Rhea Ripley is smiling, but she is holding her ribs for the battle against Raquel Rodriguez this past Saturday at Crown Jewel. Ripley says, "Welcome to Monday Night Mommy!" Now that the Judgment Day and Raquel Rodriguez are behind her, hopefully for good, she's wondering what's next for her. With Evolution right around the corner, she feels like she has to get her priorities straight. Women's World Champion Io Sky interrupts Ripley and heads to the ring to a nice ovation. Sky says you cannot have an Evolution without Io Sky. Ripley is wrong about one thing. Ripley is not on top, not without the title, because Sky has the title. Raw GM Adam Pearce has told her she can pick who she will defend the Raw Women's title against at Evolution 2. Is that Evolution? Not Evolution 2, just plain old Evolution. Sorry. Evolution 2025. Sky speaks in Japanese and gets the crowd going. Sky says she wants to defend against the best. That means defending against Rhea Ripley. Ripley smiles and says she has nothing but respect for Sky. If that's what Sky wants, Ripley will stop at nothing to get the title back. If that's what Sky wants. Ripley wants her to know what happens at Evolution is what Sky wanted. At Evolution, Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the Raw Women's World Championship is on. Sky smiles and holds the title between them. It's official. You know, I believe WWE about this match. I just say, I bet you WWE's gonna try to pull a swerve right here. I bet you, they're gonna, that Naomi from SmackDown is gonna cash in on it, and then then they're gonna, and that'll be stupid on their part, and then Naomi might cash in. That'll be stupid because she's on SmackDown, not Raw. I bet you. Who knows? We'll never see. We'll never know what will happen. Then we see a backstage segment. Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum is backstage when AJ Styles walks up to him. Mysterio has a doctor's note and warns Styles that he is not cleared to compete. Adam Pearce verified it. If Styles lays a finger on him, he won't get a title shot. Styles puts his glasses on and reads the letter. What a coward. Oh no, what am I saying? Sorry. Reads the letter. Styles says the doctor said Mysterio's a punk ass. Styles says that when Mysterio is cleared to compete, he will destroy him and take the title. Styles walks off from Mysterio, and Mysterio says he doesn't want to beat up the elderly. Styles returns, but Mysterio holds up the note and scurries away. FD, Finn Balor, and JD McDonald of Judgment Day make their entrance. They'll challenge the New Day for the World Tag Team Championship next. We go to commercial break. World Tag Team Championship, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonald versus the New Day, Kofi Kingston champions. Referee Sean Bennett. The bell rings and it'll be Finn Balor starting against Kofi Kingston. Kingston has a piece of bread in his hand and goes at it to hand it to Balor, thinking he needs more carbs. Balor slaps it out of Kingston's hand. Balor blocks the kick and spins him. But Kingston avoids a strike. They tussle to the corner, and Kingston pretends to give a clean break before pouncing on him. Balor kicks Kingston in the knee. They hit the rope, and Balor hits a sunset flip into a basement drop kick. Balor puts Kingston in the corner and tags JD McDonald in. McDonald hits the drop toe hold and drops a leg for a 1 count. McDonald puts Kingston in the corner and chops him, and McDonald reverses the arm. But Kingston reverses a whip into the ropes. Kingston lowers his head and takes a kick. McDonald sends Kingston out of the ring and goes to the apron and kicks him in the face. McDonald then big boots Xavier Woods. McDonald sets up for an side moonsault, but Kingston sweeps the feet and hanging him up on the top rope. Woods tags and connects with a double stomp on the top rope and spine. Back from the break, Kingston takes him down with a diving axe handle for a 2 count. Kingston punches away at him and tags Woods in. Woods whips McDonald to the corner, but McDonald fights the New Day off. McDonald and Woods start chopping each other before Woods kicks him in the midsection. Woods chops him down before setting up a powerbomb, but McDonald counters into a sit-out facebuster. Kingston quickly tags in and stops McDonald from tagging in. McDonald kicks him away and tags Balor in. Balor comes into a nice ovation and runs over Kingston and Xavier Woods. Balor double stumps Kingston before hitting Woods with a double stomp. Balor hits a falling elbow with drop on Kingston for a 2 count. Balor chops Kingston in the corner and whips the corner to the opposite corner, but Kingston hits him with a pendulum kick. Kingston hits the top rope, but Balor avoids the attack and hits a sling blade. Balor sets up for a shotgun dropkick, but Kingston cuts him off with a standing double stomp. Woods and McDonald tag in. McDonald knocks Woods over the top rope and hits a side moonsault. McDonald gets Woods in the ring and goes for a top rope for a moonsault, but Woods gets the legs up. Balor blind tags in. Woods rolls McDonald up, but the referee won't count. McDonald kicks out and holds Woods down. Balor goes to the top rope for a coup de grace, but he hits McDonald when Woods moves. Woods tags Kingston in. Woods holds Balor up, and they hit the midnight hour. Balor kicks out, and Kingston cannot believe it. Balor slowly gets up and avoids the trouble in paradise. Kingston rolls up Balor, but he kicks out. McDonald punches Kingston, and Balor rolls him up for a near fall. Woods hits Balor in the back of the head with the tag team title. Kingston rolls him up. 1-2. Balor kicks out. The crowd starts to chant, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" Woods tags in and goes to the top rope, but he is crotched when Balor flapjacks Kingston onto the top ropes. McDonald tags in and hits Woods with a Spanish fly off the top rope. 1-2. Kingston breaks up the pin. Kingston knocks Balor out of the ring and goes for a plancha, but Balor moves. Balor hits a sling blade on the floor. McDonald takes Woods down and tags Balor in. McDonald hits Woods with a moonsault, and Balor follows up with a coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. The crowd explodes. Winners by pinfall and new World Tag Team Champions of Judgment Day. Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum joins Balor and McDonough as they celebrate their win. The Judgment Day holds their titles up and huge power kinetics go off. Oh man. Oh man. New Raw Tag Team Champions. Highlight of the night, last Monday Night on Raw, Lyra Valkyria attacked Becky Lynch and Bayley was setting up to win Women's Intercontinental Championship. Bayley was furious with Valkyria. Well, it doesn't matter. Let me remind you all this. I know some of you are going to disagree. Someone should tell Bayley, well, it doesn't matter if her arm was put out by Becky Lynch, and it was all stupid idea anyway for everyone, all the fans to think that it was Becky Lynch that injured her leg, but not Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. It doesn't matter. I mean, Bayley has had everything handed to her in a super silver platter. I mean, this isn't 2014 anymore. It's 2025. I think the title belongs in Lyra Valkyria. Let's go to the backstage here. Jackie Redmond's backstage with a dejected Bayley. She focused on another opportunity for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Bayley says her focus hasn't changed, even though Valkyria got involved in her match. Hello, Bayley. She was trying to get revenge. It was an accident. Lyra Valkyria walks up to her and isn't happy that Bayley was talking about her. Valkyria says she was going to apologize, but no longer knows who Bayley is. It's not personal with them. It's personal with Valkyria and Becky Lynch. Bayley says it was personal with her and Lynch because she took her out before WrestleMania. That's no excuse by Bayley, by the way. Roger GM Adam Pearce silences them as they argue. Pearce says he thought something that this will happen, so he's putting them in the match tonight. The winner will be the number one contender for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Valkyrie says, "See you in the ring, Frank." Pearce frustratingly says, "Happy Monday." Yeah, I bet you Becky Lynch is happy about this. I bet you she's laughing backstage because she wants to see the wedge. She's really enjoying watching the wedge drive between Lyra Valkyrie and Bayley. She wants the two of them to tear each other apart, just so she can protect her precious Women's Intercontinental title, the title that she took from Lyra Valkyrie. But doesn't matter. Bayley is old news. She's old school. This is 2025, not 2014. She's having everything handed to her silver platter. Lyra Valkyrie needs this push. For this generation. But that won't happen. WWE is just gonna Triple H and the CEO and Tony Khan, Nick Khan and Ari Emanuel with TKO. Gonna try to do something around here, point something up. And we see a little backstage segment. Sheamus is preparing his match against Rusev. He high-fives Akira Tozawa, Maxine Dupree, and Natalia Natty. Commercial break. A huge career retrospective on WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg will compete in his final match at WWE's Saturday Night's Main Event as he challenges the Dream General Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Last Monday night on Raw, Chad Gable confronted Penta backstage. Penta kicked him down and hit the sacrifice. Earlier today, Chad Gable was talking to an American Made with his arms in a sling. Raw GM Adam Pearce walks up and wishes Gable luck on his upcoming surgery. Gable says he's an Olympian and makes his own luck. Pearce says he hopes. He supposes they won't see El Grande Americano. Gable says he was the world's greatest luchador, so you never know. Gable tells American Made not to lose their spirit. The Creed brothers aren't sure they will do without Gable. Gable tells him to listen to Ivan Nilo. Ludwig Kaiser is shown lurking into the shadows. Rusev makes his entrance. He'll battle Sheamus next. Big Bronson Reed does an advertisement for Jurassic World Rebirth. Commercial break. Backstage segment. Raw GM Adam Pearce is talking with Raw GM Nick Aldis backstage. Raw Tag Team Champions Finn Balor, JD McDonough walk up to them. Excuse me, I'll be right back. 1 second. Just hold on. Okay, I'm back. Let me start to say this again. Backstage segment. Raw GM Adam Pearce is talking with SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis backstage. World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Hold on a second. Okay, as I was saying, Raw GM Adam Pearce is talking backstage with SmackDown GM Nick Aldis backstage. World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough walk up to them. Balor's guessing they're trying to figure out what to do about the Women's Tag Team Championship. Balor has a suggestion, which Aldis and Pearce want to hear. Balor says Raquel Rodriguez worked hard to win and defend the titles. It will mean the strip her of the titles. Balor wants to find her a new tag team partner. They ask if he has anyone in mind. Balor pretends to think and suggests Roxanne Perez. It's a win for everyone. They can have matches on matches on Raw and SmackDown. Pearce says they have to confer. They turn to talk. Pearce then says they'll allow it under one condition: Roxanne Rodriguez and Perez will just have to justify the decision and prove they're worthy champions. At Evolution, they'll defend their titles against the tag team from Raw and SmackDown and NXT. Balor and McDonough agree and walk off and says they are on the same page. Pearce says for now and walks off. Rusev versus Sheamus. Referee is Rod Zapata. Bell rings and they stare at each other. Rusev shoves them and they lock up. So they lock up. They can't push against each other and break the lockup. They lock up again and tussle against the ropes. Sheamus hooks a side headlock, so Rusev whips him off. Sheamus connects with a shoulder tackle, but Rusev absorbs it. Rusev goes for a shoulder tackle, but Sheamus absorbs it. They talk trash to each other before throwing some meaty strikes. Sheamus bounces Rusev off the top turnbuckle and punches him. Sheamus backs up, so Rusev pops out of control, pops out of the corner and clotheslines him. Rusev sends him into the ropes for a hip toss, but Sheamus counters with a short arm clothesline. Sheamus soon spins him around and punches away at him. Sheamus starts to 10 punches, but Rusev counters with a powerbomb. Sheamus rolls out of the ring to recover. Sheamus stops to rest Rusev, but from going outside. Shane quickly boots him back. Shane quickly back from the break. Rusev is applying a rear chin lock. Sheamus fights up, but Rusev hits a snapmare and puts the hold back. Sheamus fights up and powers Rusev in the corner. Rusev quickly boots him in the back and kicks him in the spine. Rusev quick Sheamus face him a few times and slaps him in the face. Rusev challenges him, so Sheamus tells him to hit him harder. Sheamus gets fired up and starts to punch back. Rusev shoves him off. But Sheamus hits a pair of Irish hammers to the face. Sheamus clotheslines him in the corner and hits an Irish curse backbreaker. Sheamus heads to the top rope, and he hits a diving knee drop for a 1 count. Sheamus digs to his boot into Rusev's throat. Sheamus goes to the apron, so Sheamus sews up for a 10 beats a Borderline. Snaps him off the top rope and hits a spinning heel kick for a 2 count. Rusev follows up for a fallaway slam for another 2 count. Sheamus Rusev slaps Sheamus on the back and backs Sheamus on the back and backs himself into a corner. Rusev charges, but Sheamus boots him back and pulls him off the top rope. Rusev cuts him off and connects with a massive suplex. We return from the break to see Sheamus and Rusev get down to the mat to get their knees and exchange headbutts before swinging some vicious clubs. There are some nasty strikes. Rusev hits a thrust and kicks him in the head twice. Rusev hits the ropes, but Sheamus slams him with a tilt-a-whirl power slam. Rusev rolls to the apron as the crowd chants, "Let's go, Sheamus." Sheamus grabs Rusev for a 10 beats a boot around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Sheamus gets the crowd going and signals for the end. Sheamus pounds his chest and hits the crowd, and the crowd chants, "Brogue." Rusev avoids the brogue kick. And flips him over. Rusev kicks away at Sheamus and charges, but Sheamus catches him with a knee to the jaw. Sheamus backs up and connects with a kneecapper for a near fall. Sheamus slowly gets to his feet and pulls Rusev up for an Irish cross. Rusev gets out hits a standing urinage, followed by a running thrust kick to the jaw. Rusev gets himself fired up and shouts Rusev over. Rusev stomps to the spine and applies the accolade. Rusev clinches it. Sheamus is dripping with sweat, manages to get to his knees under him and gets up with Rusev on his back. Sheamus backs him into a corner before going through the ropes with him. Sheamus then hits him with a brogue kick on the floor. Both men are down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The crowd chants, "This is awesome." 8, 9. Rusev barely beats the count back in. They're both on the apron with the ring post between them. They throw punches through the turnbuckles. Rusev bounces back to Sheamus, back to the ring post, and pulls him up. Rusev sets up for a suplex to the floor, but Sheamus fights out. Sheamus goes for a white nose to the floor, but Rusev gets out. Rusev breaks the eyes and removes his turnbuckle bracket for the cover, but Sheamus pulls Sheamus into it and throws him back into the ring. Rusev connects with a Masha kick for the win. Winner by pinfall, Rusev. Rusev kneels over Sheamus and talks some trash before leaving. This is just all. I didn't like this match. It was old school match. I mean, we've seen Rusev and Sheamus too many times already. Earlier today, Raw GM Adam Pearce and SmackDown GM got to talk about WWE Evolution. They can have the Battle Royal winner facing for the Women's World Title. Yep, Women's World Title at WWE Clash in Paris. Now, Clash in Paris, WWE Clash in Paris. Clash in Paris. That's August the 31st, Sunday after the pay-per-view SummerSlam, 2-night SummerSlam. Backstage interview. Jackie Redmond is backstage with American Made. How they plan to move forward without their leader. Ivan now says they'll make sure to get herself into the Battle Royal and Evolution. All of a sudden, El Grande Americana walks up to the frame, leaving. American Made is stunned and doesn't look like Chad Gable. It could be Leawood Kaiser. Redmond asks her to leave a comment, but Ivan now says no comment. A stunned American Made walks off. Redmond catches up with Sami Zayn backstage before she can ask a question. Karrion Kross visually attacks him and grabs the lead pipe and tells Zayn to stay before smashing it in the ribs. W officials and referees run to pull Kross away. Scar looks pleased and Zayn is in pain. Earlier tonight, Io Sky offered to defend her Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley at WWE Evolution. Ripley accepted. The commentaries run down WWE Evolution so far. Members of the Pittsburgh Steelers are shown at ringside. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther addresses Goldberg. World Heavyweight Champion the Ring General Gunther heads to the ring. A week from Saturday, as on Saturday night's main event, he will defend the title against Goldberg. It will be Goldberg's final match. Goldberg stands in the ring and the crowd loudly chants, "You tapped out." Goldberg says he's out here to talk about Bill Goldberg. He saw the video that highlighted Goldberg's career moments. It was violent, brutal, and destructive. Goldberg left a mark on every opponent he faced. Just like his matches, Gunther will sum it up in 3 minutes. Goldberg has every right to claim that he's the most feared man of this generation, but Gunther is not afraid of what is left of Bill Goldberg. Gunther has seen what he really is, a 58-year-old man who wants to ride out on his career on Gunther's coattails. One last hurrah at Gunther's expense. That won't happen. Goldberg is incapable of taking the World Heavyweight Championship away from him. Gunther knows that he can beat Goldberg in under 3 minutes. That's not his goal. His goal at Saturday night's main event is to take it slow, burn him up, blow him up, and outclass him in front of everyone near him and dear to him. Gunther heard Goldberg say he doesn't like bullies. Too bad he bumped on into the biggest bully here. At Saturday night's main event, Gunther will bully Goldberg and treat him like a piece of crap. There will be nothing Goldberg can do about it. Now we're here guessing whether Goldberg has it. Gunther will show he never had it. After Goldberg, Gunther will walk out of here and raise the question, who's next? Who's next? For the ring general, Gunther. Burn it down. Here he comes, this arrogant, this arrogant wuss of a Duke dickhead, Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins, to his Eric Oracle. WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman. Rollins gets in the ring and listens to his crowd sing a song. Gunther says that from the look of Heyman's face, he is proud to travel very far and achieve nothing. Rollins says Gunther has been paying attention. They're here to congratulate Gunther. They haven't seen him since he won the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther poses to congratulate. Rollins congratulates him. Gunther, we're paying attention. He will understand why they did not go to Night of Champions 2025 to cash in Money in the Bank contract on John Cena for the last 2 years. Rollins has said this time and again there was a world record beneath his lungs. Gunther will not be a world champion in this business. In this company, they flew across the world to stand on that business. A CM Punk chant picks up as it stands with the Money in the Bank contract. Rollins told the world it would be an all-out assault, both world titles. Rollins repeats himself and Foley says, "Congratulations, champ." CM Punk's music hits, and irate CM Punk runs down the ring and attacks Rollins. Rollins quickly tracks the eyes and takes him down. Rollins hits the ropes for a stomp, but Punk cuts him off with a back elbow. Rollins quickly bails out of the ring and runs through the crowd escape. Punk shouts, "You're a coward." Another CM Punk chant fires up, and Punk turns to leave. So Gunther grabs him. Punk shows Gunther down, shouts at him, and leaves the ring. Rollins gleefully waves goodbye to Punk and relative safety of stands. All of a sudden, LA Knight appears behind him. They brawl into the arena, and concourse they fight near the ball before Rollins throws a drink in Knight's face and runs off to escape. "Yeah, run off, you arrogant piece of shit." This isn't over, Rollins. It's not over. If that hadn't been for you, Punk would have been the new World Heavyweight Champion. The Judgment Day Clubhouse World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough are with the Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum and the new Women's Tag Team Champion Roxanne Perez. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was stupid it's crazy for Roxanne Perez to be Women's World Tag Team Champion because Liv Morgan was jealous of Roxanne since she came to Judgment Day, and Liv Morgan, even though it was despite the fact that I haven't forgotten about NXT Stand and Deliver, where she beat Lyra Valkyrie for the NXT Women's title. I'm gonna go with Roxanne Perez for this one because Liv Morgan's been having every title here in a super platter, every women's title belt. So Roxanne doesn't need a pitch, but I feel like that won't happen. They're all celebrating having titles when Balor says, "When you listen to Finn, you win." Raquel Rodriguez walks up and asks why they're replacing Liv Morgan so quickly. Morgan has rehabbing 2 weeks, rehabbing 2 or 3 times a week. Balor has had shoulder surgery and knows it will be a long road. He just wants them to stay on top. Roxanne reluctantly agrees. Balor says it's time to vote for Perez to be part of the Judgment Day. Balor gives his vote. McDonald looks at Rodriguez before saying he wants them to stay on top. Mysterio says he'll have to ask Morgan, but Balor tells him to make the decision himself. Mysterio sighs and says alleged yes. Rodriguez puts her head down and tells Perez to make sure she holds up her end of the bargain. Perez is still to be part of the Judgment Day. Perez says she'll do anything for them while Morgan is gone, including after Kairi Sane, who took Morgan out. Balor smiles wildly, thinks this is great. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Finn Balor for all this because Dum Dum all wants to do is ride in Finn Balor's coattails. And Liv Morgan was jealous of Roxanne since she came to Judgment Day. So Roxanne needs a push, but I feel like WWE won't do that. In the arena, Bayley makes her way to the ring. She'll battle Lyra Valkyrie in #1 contenders match next. Then we get a commercial break. WWE is coming to Perth, Australia on October 11, 2025, which is Rhea Ripley's birthday. She'll be 29. Kairi Sane says she doesn't talk big. She fights with heart and honor. That's why she's here. She's been an NXT Women's Champion and two-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. To all champions, she'll have all their gold. Sane is not afraid of anything, no matter how many times she's been knocked down. She gets up. She doesn't run from the storm. She runs into it. The Pirate Princess is here. Now we have the #1 contenders match: Bayley versus Lyra Valkyrie. Referee is Jessica Carr. The winner will be the #1 contender for Becky Lynch's Women's Intercontinental Championship. The bell rings and they lock up. Bayley hooks a side headlock, so Valkyrie whips her off. Bayley shoulder tackles her down and hits the ropes. Valkyrie hits the hip tops and it goes for a second one. Balor counters it and takes her down. They get up and start shoving each other. Valkyrie hits the headlock takeover. Balor slips out and grabs the legs. Valkyrie twists her away and hits a wheelbarrow arm drag. Balor quickly hits a back elbow drop and comes off the top ropes. With a diving arm drag, Bayley hits a basement clothesline for a 2 count. 1 count, Bayley sends Valkyrie into the ropes, but she holds on. Valkyrie rolls over the back and hits a baseball slide for a pin and a 2 count. Valkyrie rips Bayley into a counter charges, but Bayley flapjacks her into a top rope. Bayley leaps her, but Valkyrie grabs her. Bayley goes for a monkey flip, but Valkyrie counters her into a cartwheel. Baylor quickly takes her down with an impulse into the turnbuckles. Baylor takes her down and applies a Boston crowd. Valkyrie grabs for the bottom rope, but Baylor drags her away. Valkyrie counters her and rolls her up for a 2 count. They have hit the ropes hit the ropes to take each other out. The stereo running crossbody blocks. We go to commercial break. Back from break, Bayley cuts Valkyrie off on the top rope. Bayley clubs back and hits a suplex. Here's a superplex. They cradle themselves for a 2 count. Bayley hits a pair of clotheslines, followed by a back suplex. Valkyrie rolls out of the ring to recover. Bayley slides out of the ring and leaps off the steps, diving an elbow drop to the spine. Bayley gets Valkyrie in the ring for a 2 count. Bayley is Valkyrie, but Valkyrie counters with an arm drag. Valkyrie plants her with a swinging neckbreaker for 2 count. Valkyrie goes for a tornado DDT, but Bayley slings her off and hits the sunset flip bomb to the turnbuckles for a 2 count. Bayley is looking frustrated. She sizes up Valkyrie up. Bayley hits some shoulder thrusts into the corner. Valkyrie fights back with a gut wrench. Sit out powerbomb for a near fall. Valkyrie goes for a German suplex. Bayley fights her off, and they clunk their heads to start the exchange some strikes in the center of the ring. Valkyrie ducks a clothesline and goes for a German suplex, but Bayley hits a standing switch. Bayley goes for a rose plant, but Valkyrie counters with a Nightwing attempt. They start exchanging pins before the referee counts both their shoulders down. The match ends in a draw. Referee Jessica Carr rules the match a draw, infuriating Bayley and Valkyrie. They blow out of the ring and brawl into the ring in the crowd. Eventually, they're separated by WWE officials. Yeah, Becky, you're really laughing at this, aren't you? You really want to see a wedge drive between these two ladies so you can protect your precious women's Intercontinental title, don't you? Seth Rollins will battle LA Knight next Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Event. irate CM Punk is walking backstage when Jackie Redman stops him. Punk says Seth Rollins' knees haven't worked that well in years when he ran away. Punk says he has receipts for Seth Rollins. The whole group. Punk goes over on LA Knight and says he knows he has issues with Rollins, but he needs to get back in the line. Come on. Back in the line? Whose side are you on? Knight says his match against Rollins was just announced next Saturday's match, so he is online. Yeah, Knight walks off. Then we see a backstage segment. Elsewhere, Sami Zayn is being treated by a medical professional. His ribs are heavily taped. Penta, his tag team partner for the evening, checks on him. Zayn painfully pulls himself to his feet and says he's still going through with the match. Zayn says to Brazil position. Zayn makes his entrance and he tries to fire himself up, but his ribs are causing him a lot of pain. He'll team with Penta to battle Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed next. Then we go to commercial break. Gorilla position. Paul Heyman is clutching with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Is in the gorilla position with Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Heyman talks to Seth Rollins on his phone. Reed asks where the visionary is. Heyman says he's on a jet, perfecting Plan B. Reed asks what Plan B is. Breaker says Plan B is for him to take out everyone in his way. Heyman says that his plan, but there is time. Breaker cuts him off and says that it starts with these two. Breaker tells the production crew to hit his music. And they'll see a tag team match. Sami Zayn and Penta versus Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman. Three assholes. Breaker, Reed, and Heyman. Referees Eddie Orengo. Penta will start with the match against Braun Breaker. They lock up and Breaker quickly slams him down. Breaker punches away at Penta before shouldering the midsection in the corner. Breaker whips Penta to the corner, but Penta slingshots him over. Ducks a clothesline and hits a head scissor takeover. Penta gets the crowd fired up and kicks Breaker in the corner. Breaker quickly elbows him, but Penta responds with a big boot. Penta hits the running Hurricanrana. Sammy tags in and comes off the second rope with the elbow to the arm. Zayn chops to the chest and wrenches the arm. Breaker quickly knees Zayn in the injured ribs, when Karrion Kross attacked him with a lead pipe earlier in the show. Breaker hits the ropes at a ridiculous speed and runs him over with Zayn with a nicer clothesline. Big Bronson Reed tags in and clubs the back. Reed sends Zayn to the corner and avalanches him. Reed whips him to the opposite corner, but Zayn elbows him into the face. Zayn comes off the second rope with an axe handle. Penta tags in. Penta and Zayn try to whip Reed, but he puts the brakes on. They club away at him. Penta leaps off Zayn's back and forearms Reed out of the ring. Then they send Breaker out of the ring with a kick. Penta, Zayn then take Reed and Breaker out with a stereo somersault planches. Then we go to commercial break. Back from the break, Reed is applying a neck vice to Penta. Reed clubs Penta down as he tries to fight up. Reed sends Penta to the ropes, but Penta lowers his head, takes a kick. Penta connects with a side step up enziguri. Zayn tags in and punches away at Reed. Zayn hits the 10 punches in the corner, but violently loads him well behind the 10 count. Zayn hits the ropes for a clothesline, but Reed doesn't go down. Zayn tries again, but Reed stays standing, and Reed kicks Zayn in the ribs. Zayn springboards over him and hits a clothesline over the top rope. Zayn quickly sends Breaker out of the ring and goes on the apron, then kicks them away. Zayn hits an Arabian press to the floor and points to the sky in a tribute to the late Sabu. Zayn gets in the ring, Reed in the ring, and heads to the top rope. Reed cuts him off with a strike. Reed climbs to the second rope and clubs to the spine. Zayn fights back and clubs away at Reed. Zayn connects with a sunset flip. Powerbomb off the middle rope for a near fall. Zayn grabs Reed, but Reed pops up and hits a death fire driver for a 2 count. Zayn holds up his ribs in pain. Breaker tags in, puts Zayn in an electric chair as Breaker goes to the top rope. Zayn slap. Hold on a second. Reed puts Zayn in an electric chair as Breaker goes to the top rope. Zayn slides off Reed's shoulders and attacks Breaker. Reed knocks Zayn out of the ring. Breaker comes off the apron with a huge clothesline. Zayn over the commentary table. Back from the break, final break of the evening, Breaker is applying a bear hug to the injured ribs. Zayn fights out and manages to hit Breaker with a back body drop over the top rope. Breaker quickly gets in the ring to the top, stop the tag, and gets Reed in to avoid a senton splash. Breaker and Penta tag in. Penta hits a diving crossbody block. Penta kicks Breaker in the knee and hits a reverse sling blade. Penta kicks Reed in the head and kicks Breaker down. In the corner, Penta hits a springboard slingshot drop kick before setting up a sacrifice. Penta snaps Breaker's arm. Paul Heyman winches at ringside. Penta sets up for a Penta driver, but Breaker fights out. Breaker military versus him. Penta counters with a satellite DDT for a near fall. Penta clubs Breaker, but Heyman gets on the apron to distract the referee. Crouches Penta on top rope and tags in. Breaker hits a Frankensteiner. Breaker falls over a set down powerbomb. 1-2 Zayn breaks up the pin. Reed knocks Zayn out of the ring and sets up Penta for a tsunami. But Penta rolls out of the way. Reed hits the mat hard as Penta knocks the wind out of himself. Breaker and Zayn bring Breaker tagging. Zayn hits an explosive suplex in the corner before Breaker goes to the opposite corner. Zayn charges with a hell of a kick, but Breaker wipes out with a leaping clothesline. Breaker pulls the straps down and hits ropes for a spear, but Zayn boosts him down. 1-2 Reed breaks up the pin. Penta runs in, but Reed knocks him out of the ring. Reed hit the head for a suplex, and he get Reed up. Reed goes for a suplex and Zayn twists out. Zayn dive tips him and drives him into a turnbuckles. Penta snaps Reed off the top turnbuckle and Zayn hits Reed with a vertical suplex. Zayn hits a massive spear from Braun Breaker for the win. And damn, winners by pinfall, Braun Breaker and Beer Bronson Reed. Penta checks on Zayn before Breaker hits him with a spear. Zayn signals for a tsunami until main event Jey Uso's music hits. Uso hits the ring with a chair. Uso greets Breaker with an aisleway with a chair shot before smashing it off his back. Reed invites Uso into the ring. Uso gets in the ring and punches away at Reed before hitting a super kick. Reed hasn't gone down yet. Uso throws the chair into Reed's head, knocking him out of the ring. Uso stands tall with Penta and Zayn as Heyman, Breaker, and Reed frustrated look on from ringside. Oh, is that too bad for Heyman, Breaker, and Reed? Assholes are really too bad for them. This was really terrible show today. Completely garbage today, you know? This is really garbage. I don't think SummerSlam will be really good. I bet you really good. I bet you somehow it's gonna be Tiffy Time versus we all know it's gonna be Tiffy Time versus Naomi. Tiffy Time versus Jade at SummerSlam. We all know Naomi's gonna cash in and probably cash in and stuff like that. And while we see Bianca, who hasn't been seen on TV for a while, we probably might turn heel on Jade, costing her the title, and we see an alliance form with Naomi and Bianca. We all know it, and we realize that Naomi was the mastermind behind Jade Cargill's attack all along, and we were all fooled. And they were that tears. They were acting, their tears breaking down, tears acting on and all that stuff was all a ruse. They fool all of us, the fans, and especially Jade Cargill. Who knows what we'll see? I bet you SummerSlam 2025 won't be that good. Trust me. Now I got that out of the way. Now I know what it's time for. It's time for something I like to do. It's time for Justin's Timeline History, all the wrestling birthdays, pop culture, everything, etc., etc. All you hear that tune is a thing from Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, which celebrates his 40th anniversary this Thursday. Celebrates his 40th anniversary this Wednesday, July 3rd, 2025. This movie was released in theaters July 3rd, 1985. One of my favorite movies. So let's go to Saturday. Wait. So let's go to yesterday, June the 29th, since I already got Saturday covered. When I was doing my Night of Champions review. Okay. Yesterday was a happy 83rd birthday to Johnny, British pro wrestler Johnny Saint. Colin Jost, Saturday Night Live, funny man. Colin Jost, he turned 43 yesterday. He appeared at a Dark Battle Royal at WrestleMania 35, and Braun Breaker, he got eliminated in that Battle Royal, and Braun Breaker won that. Cody Rhodes turned 40 yesterday. American Nightmare, who won the King of the Ring Battle Royal. He won King of the Ring last Saturday. Serena Deeb turned 39 yesterday. Canadian wrestler Ariana Grace. I think Ariana Grace, that's Santino Marella's daughter. Ariana Grace, she turned 28 yesterday. Okay, yesterday on let's go to some wrestling history. The Rockford Show, June 1985, promo at AWA. The Rockford Show. Billy Robinson and Brad Rheingans fought in a draw. Ray Stevens and Buck Soho fought Ray Stevens defeated Buck Soho. Butch Reed defeated Steve O. Larry Zbyszko defeated Bobby Bull Eagle. 6-person tag team match: Baron Von Rush and Dick Bruiser and the Crusher defeated Billy Robinson, Butch Reed, and Larry Zbyszko. Yeah, see what else. See, in 2015 on Monday night, and 2005, a movie was released in theaters. A really good movie right here. War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise. War of the Worlds. Supporting cast of movies: Dakota Fanning and Tim Robbins, and Morgan Freeman did the narration for that movie. It's directed by Steven Spielberg. Really good movie. And in 2015, Monday Night Raw, June 29th, leading up to the pay-per-view Battleground 2015. Big Show defeated Mark Henry. Ryback defeated The Miz by countout. Paige defeated Alicia Fox. With Brie Bella, with the Bella Twins, Cesaro and John defeated John Cena by DQ. U.S. title match. Primetime players Titus O'Neil and Darren Young defeat in Lucha Dragons. Sin Cara and Kalisto defeated Bo Dallas and The New Day. Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods. Sheamus defeated Neville. King Barry defeated Jack Swagger, Kane, and Seth Rollins, with Jamie Noble defeated Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in no DQ tag team match. And Dickhead Seth Rollins roars the Authority. Dolph Ziggler and Lana go public until Rusev, who has a new girlfriend now since after Rusev turned on her, dumped her. He was with Summer Rae. It was a segment between them. Then there was a little brawl between the two women, Lana and Summer Rae. I bet you know SummerSlam. When SummerSlam, we all know it's gonna be Randy Orton and John Cena at SummerSlam. And, I bet you somehow down the way, somehow Seth Rollins probably might cash in. We see probably try to make him. It's in WWE, might probably try to make him a popular babyface. I mean, make him babyface and popular here and there, and they're gonna try to make because it now makes sense after what we just witnessed at WrestleMania 41 last April. Along with they're trying to make him a babyface and a popular hero, along with Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. That would be stupidest booking from WWE, and he's gonna try to justify his, and Seth Rollins gonna try to justify his actions at WrestleMania 41 last April. I mean, he's coming like an asshole like he was 10 years ago and stuff and shit. Okay, now let's go to today's June the 30th. Okay, Alicia Fox turns 39 today. Mike Tyson turns 59 today. And WWE Hall of Famer Terry Funk, the late Terry Funk, God rest his soul, He would have been 81 today. Su Young turns 36 today. And Will Ferrara from Ring of Honor, NW, he turns 30. 34. Okay. And let's see now. Let's see some wrestling history today. I don't think it was a no show for WWE All-Star Wrestling today. Okay. Now 1995, a couple movies released in theaters on this day. A couple movies released in theaters on this day. Apollo 13, starring Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, the late Bill Paxton, Gary Sinise, Ed Harris, and very good movie. Apollo 13. It's known for his catchphrase with Tom Hanks. Houston, we have a problem. Yep, yeah. Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, late Bill Paxton, Gary Sinise, who worked with Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump, and Ed Harris. And Kathleen Kennedy has a supporting role in this movie. This was the second time Hanks and Howard worked together to work together after Splash in 1984 with Daryl Hannah and late John Candy and Eugene Levy. One of my favorite movies, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The movie was released in theaters, and one other favorite movie in my mind, I had that on DVD. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movies on DVD, and another movie I have released in theaters that I have on DVD is called Judge Dredd, based on a comic book, starring Sylvester Stallone. Supporting cast in this movie is Diane Lane and Armand Assante, played with one of the bad guys, Max von Sydow, and funny man Rob Schneider, who's also in this movie. And on this day in 2005, on SmackDown, Paul London versus Charles Guerrero in a no contest cruiserweight title match. Melina with Joey Mercury and Johnny Nacho defeated Michelle McCool, and then Joey Mercury and Johnny Nacho did a despicable big act. Michelle McCool did a little slam on her, and High Rank came out. JBL defeated Booker T and Chris Benoit and Christian Muhammad Hassan with the Divided and Undertaker in a 6-man elimination match. Undertaker was disqualified. Muhammad Hassan was eliminated. JBL was eliminated under Chris Benoit. Christian eliminated Booker T, and JBL eliminated Christian. And then there was a little despicable segment right here Um, we see a segment with Eddie Guerrero crossing the line with Rey Mysterio's son. And then we see a little Mexico segment. And Undertaker meets Muhammad Hassan and Daivari. And then we see it. And then initially, John J. What this is what happens. Like initially, SmackDown GM 3 Long announced a new world champion for the SmackDown brand called the SmackDown Championship. New champion would have been determined in a 6-man elimination match between Undertaker, Muhammad Hassan, Christian, Booker T, and JBL and Chris Benoit, which lay for one. After Layfield won the match, Long announced that the SmackDown Championship was not needed because the then World Heavyweight Champion Batista had been drafted to SmackDown. Wow. Yep, he tricked. Yeah, but Teddy Long tricked JBL. What a ruse. JBL fought hook, line, and sinker. What a ruse. Then on same day, on WWE main event, Bo Dallas defeated Zack Ryder, Fandango defeated Heath Slater, Luke Harper defeated Jack Swagger. Then we see, and then on Tough Enough, the competitors, we see Georgia gets us pleasant surprise. Then we see Scuba diving, and Daniel Bryan shares his experience, and then in Daria, after Daria's challenge, Blunder Express retrieved a loser prize. Y'all know who Daria was. That was Sonya Deville, who's on with WWE no more. So that'll do it for my review for tonight's SmackDown. Now it's time for me to shut it off. Now I'm the Godfather, Soldier, and Slimming. As late Chad Henshaw always said, like just like Chubby Checker, sing like Lionel Richie James, like James Brown. Like to get in the hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. I never grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. On Saturday Night Live. I never grew up in the 80s, but I watched old school on Saturday Night Live on Comedy Central when I was little. Now, that I got all that covered. Now I'm gonna close out some a little bit of music. I'm gonna close out the show with the theme from Power Rangers, the movie Sting version of the TV show. From the movie soundtrack, Go Go Power Rangers. So, hope you have a good night. Hope all enjoyed my review. And happy 30th anniversary of my favorite childhood movie, Go Go. 30th anniversary movie, Mind Morphin Power Rangers movie, one of my favorite childhood movies I grew up watching when I was little. Man, I feel 36. So hope all have a good night. Here's something to close out the show. The theme from Mind Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, based on a Fox Kids TV show. Here we go. hell is happening? What is